What is up, guys? Tom. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about a life story that just happened today. Actually, it was my first time behind the wheel driving on actual road. So before, I've actually once been behind a wheel, but that was because of the lawnmower that I drive for probably about a minute. That's the only time I've been behind the wheel. And I was taking this for a driver's test kind of thing. And there was like an instruction test telling me how to drive and stuff. I don't know how that is in your state or country, but you take the instruction test, and you get a permit, and then you drive a little bit, and you get your license. So I was on the instruction test, and I was with these two other guys who knew how to drive because they've been behind the wheel a couple times. They make mistakes here and there, but they really knew how to get a grasp on how to drive. I did not know how to drive behind the wheel before. I knew how to drive a little bit, like the basics and stuff, but I'd never been behind the wheel, so I never really knew the technicalities about all this stuff. And I had a really bad habit of pressing the gas too hard on anything that had gas. I would always press it too hard, and then I would like jump, and then I'll go front and then back. I would go up and then up and then back because I would always go too hard, and then I'll stop or slow down, and then I'll go forward and backward. So I had a really bad habit of doing that. And when I got my chance, because we were taking turns driving, when I got behind the wheel, the first thing that happened, because we were off just to an amazing start. The first thing that happened was I could not find the keyhole. I literally looked both sides. I looked where it's supposed to be, where it is in my car. My car's in my house wasn't there. Finally found it behind the steering wheel. This little black thing, and like this looks kind of weird, but I still put it in there, and it worked. And no one really noticed it except for me, because I feel like an idiot inside. But that was just the first of many bad things to start. So the very first thing I did, I hit the gas too hard and went forward and backwards, and it kind of, I personally did. The car didn't go forward and backwards, but because I went too fast and I slowed down, so it was, anyways, I went too fast, and then I did that multiple times before even getting on the gas station, which was where I was going, because I'm going to a random direction I had 10 minutes ago. So I was already off to a rocky start. And then, later, the whole time we were driving, basically, until he told us later that his hand was basically on the wheel, helping me get in the center of lanes, and turning hard enough on each turns and stuff. And he had a brake on his side. He would brake if I didn't brake fast enough or I wasn't braking. And I thought I was doing perfectly fine. I've been in those old race cars at like arcade games. I know how to drive a car, so I thought I was doing the turning correctly like I do in the game. It's not like the game, folks. It's completely different. Okay, this is real life. It's virtual speeding and virtual cars. No, this is real life. Okay, you can't do it. Apparently, I was doing it wrong. I don't know exactly what, but I thought I was in the center lane, but apparently I wasn't. Or in the center of all lanes I was in, but apparently I wasn't. So yeah, helped me out a little bit. Then eventually he pulled me off to the side of the road, and he was talking about wrestling, which is wrestling in old man language, whatever. And he was like, "Have you ever wrestled before, son?" He didn't say son. I don't know why I said that. But then I'm like, "Yeah, I went." And he talked about how many wins I got. I said 3, and then he said, "How many did you lose?" I said 6. But I did wrestle last year, but I forgot all of them, so I just kind of made it up. Made myself look okay. And he's like, "Why didn't you play all the games?" I'm like, "Well, because another person in my weight class." And so okay, we just change off. But the whole point of that little discussion about wrestling that we had, he was just telling me to put my hands bent. I'm like, okay, why are we talking about wrestling all the time? That's what I thought to myself. And I realized that we were driving earlier that you don't wrestle with your hands straight. And so I kind of realized that later. So all I need to do is put my hands bent, and also keep more control of the wheel. And he touched my wheel to help me out a little bit less, so I guess that's good. But later we were just talking about anything because he liked to talk to people that he was driving with. Talk about football, and I said how I played football before. He was talking about all the sports and stuff, and I said I play football. Play football and basketball and stuff like that. And he was like, "Why do you not play football anymore?" And I said, "Well, I didn't like the instruction pads. Couldn't get to my center much. It wasn't what I thought it was gonna be like, and I barely get to play anyways." And it was affecting my Boy Scouts. And once I said that, he immediately that was like his trigger to making fun of me of my Boy Scouts. He did that through the whole rest of the time I was driving till the very end. Like at one point, he was like, "Well, clearly some people have been behind the wheel before, and some people haven't." And he looked at me when he said that, and he said, "Because of Boy Scouts and stuff, maybe Boy Scouts been walking and not driving. You know, I only hike to find gold. So that was kind of mean, kind of feelings. But he always complained about me being Boy Scouts, but really Boy Scouts get you more scholarships to college and not most of the time. So I could have said that, but I didn't. And then at one time I got to this turn, and he was telling me to go because green light, but I saw cars going the opposite way or coming closer to me. I thought I was going to get hit, so I hesitated a little bit, and then I went. Of course, I went fast. I was going fast on most of my turns because I had a thing with gas. I don't know what it was. And being fast, I mean, I just like the sensation of being fast. And then, so I thought the car was going to hit me, but I realized once I went to my lane that they're supposed to stop because there's a red light. I didn't even realize it. I thought I was going to get hit, but I didn't. Hallelujah. That would have been bad. But actually, one person in my, the people in my car, almost one got hit because people like got cut in front of him or something like that. But anyways, so I missed on that turn, and he was like screaming. He was like, "Go, go, son!" And then we got to this point where we were doing turns and 90 degrees and stuff like that. And before we even started that, he was like, "Okay, I'm kind of strict in this section of teaching, whatever." And he said at one point he made this girl cry, and stuff like that. So, and he said at the very beginning too. He's like, "I'm gonna grab the steering wheel if you need help." And he said one time this girl screamed because I was driving the steering wheel so much. Well, that's because I'm helping him. So, how you doing? Are you doing that much? I'm like turning what we're doing here. We're doing 3-part turns, backwards and left and right, backwards turns. And he says he's gonna be a little shit about this and a little, meaner. So for some reason he decided to talk about, or no, this happened later. I did my right hand turn, and he's like, earlier he was talking about science and stuff like that, and because I was messing up a little bit. He's like science and gravity and inertia and stuff like that. So when I was going backwards, he's like, "Okay, now put your foot off the brake, and this is called gravity. Look, you're going backwards," which kind of made me feel really, really dumb. And inside, made me feel stupid and look stupid because the whole time I was messing up, people behind me were kind of like giggling a little bit. Just like a normal human thing would do. But I made it worse, like always. So he kind of, "Oh, look, this is gravity." Like, made me look like a freaking idiot. Like I didn't know what I was doing, which I kind of didn't know, but it still made it worse. And then, later, he was doing like, he told me to do a 3-point turn, and I did it in 20 seconds because I didn't really know what to do, because he said go to the fence, and then turn or something. I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of assumed and improvised or whatever, but he said I had to do 20 seconds to do it, and it takes like 10 seconds to get a car to turn in or whatever, and you would have caused a crash. All my other students just do it in less than 10 seconds, but you did it in 20 seconds, so you're going to cause accidents. Like, inside I felt, wow, you are so nice. I'm very complimented today. I feel great about myself. Yeah, that was sarcasm if you didn't notice. Yeah, I felt horrible. I thought I was going to start crying. I literally just looked at him. I didn't say anything. And then, before I started doing 45-degree parking, he's like, "Okay, do you know what 60 miles per hour means?" Whatever. He's like, "You go 60. I was like, 60 miles per hour. Like, you go 60 miles in an hour. He's like, "Okay, how much do you go? How much do you go in 30 seconds? How much do you go in a second?" And I'm like, "How much do you go in an hour?" Or, like, 60 a minute, and then how much in a second? And I didn't know the math. Okay, my brain is not a calculator, folks. Okay, I don't know if some of you guys have noticed that in math class if you know with me IRL, but my brain is not a calculator, especially when it's on Saturdays. So I made me do all this math and stuff, and I had no clue what the answer was. Like, it was like 88.8. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know that? I didn't say that though. And they asked me about 30 seconds, and how many in 1 second, and people behind me were like, "Oh, it's half." And for some reason I thought it was 49.9. I thought I was like, "Oh yeah, 49.9 is totally 88.8 times 1/2. And then he's like, "No." I'm like, 43. Sorry, all these other numbers. It's like, it's 44.4. I'm like, wow, I feel pretty dumb right now. Like, I feel really, really dumb. And he said if I, when I turn in 20 seconds, a car goes, like 88 feet. If they're going 6 miles per hour, they go 88 feet in a second. So if I took 20 seconds, they're gonna go like 880 feet as I just turn. Which also made it even worse because it's doing science, which makes me even look bad, even more worse. So yeah, I'm not very good at turning and stuff. He kind of just made fun of me because I was on Boy Scouts and stuff, kind of mocked me a little bit, made me look like an idiot from other people because I really didn't know how to do it. And I told him before I even found the car that I didn't I wasn't behind the wheel much. He's like, oh yeah, most of the people aren't. But I mean, I was like, for real, I'd never been behind the wheel once, legit. And kind of played it off. But yeah, so he kind of screwed me sometimes. He was helping me a lot, and he kind of made me look bad. Clearly, I was the worst driver. Everyone else knew what they were doing and stuff, and I was struggling. The struggle was real, and he made it a lot worse. But it was a learning process. I did learn a lot more, to be honest. So hopefully, I have to drive with him on Monday. So hopefully, it can be a better experience. But that was my first time behind the wheel, and then like taking the driver instruction test. I mean, he was pretty cool because he talked about a lot of stuff, and he talked to us pretty interesting. But he could be pretty mean and rude without realizing. But I'm pretty sure he was joking or something like that, and not trying to be mean. But you know, it's just a situation. But I hope you guys all enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.